I know something about you. I know you searched some sort of phrase about an affordable SEO company. So I'm going to assume that you're looking for an SEO company and you want it to be an affordable one. I know I'm a genius. So I'm going to use my genius abilities to teach you some secrets and methods about choosing a right SEO company. That way you can actually get #1 in Google for your target keywords for more traffic, leads, and sales to grow your business, and of course in a 100% affordable way. Now, who am I and why should you consider listening to me? Well, my name is Mike Piet from Triple Your Traffic, also known as TYT, a digital marketing and SEO company. Yet the thing was, I wasn't always an SEO company. I didn't know anything about SEO, and when I first started, I was in a very similar position, just like you, wanting to learn more about SEO, wanting someone to do the SEO, to rank organically for the positions for Google, to grow my own business. I was actually a radiographer at the time, meaning someone who takes x-rays. And I started listening to Tony Robbins and self-development, and he did an interview with Jeff Walker, who did internet marketing. So I started learning about internet marketing, and I realized, okay, I need a product to sell something on, online, and that's why I wrote an ebook about how to become a radiographer. And I started selling that and realized, okay, I need to learn a lot more about traffic, so I need to actually get people to order to my website in order for them to buy the book. I first thought, oh, I'll put it up online, make a bunch of money, and that's it. Well, as you know, that's not how it goes. We have to put all these systems in place of copy, persuasion, and traffic sources such as SEO. So when I first started out, I started with pay-per-click, AdWords pay-per-click. But that was too expensive and wasn't really working, so I kind of figured about this SEO thing, search engine optimization, a way to, rank and do things to rank organically. So I said, that sounds a lot better, a lot more traffic. And at first, I didn't even want it to be affordable. I actually wanted it to be free. I figured, hey, I could just do all the costs. I could tweak my own website. I could, link and promote it and do it myself, and it would be free, not paying myself. So I started buying all these courses and learning all about SEO, and I tried it for years and years with no results. Nothing was working. Maybe a little bit here and there, but nothing like the business growth that I wanted. Till one day I figured out a way how to do SEO predictably and in an affordable way, which I'll explain in a moment. So I figured out this way, but all in all, what I realized was that SEO wasn't free. There was actually a lot of cost to build a portfolio of sites, to get all the content created, to promote it, and all these different things, having the team in place, these tools. It actually took cost, but it can be affordable and it can be very, very profitable if done correctly, which again we'll get into in just a moment. So I learned about SEO. I learned that I want it to be free, I want it to be affordable, but it was actually a lot of cost, but it was still profitable, but I learned a way to make it work. All in all, that market was a little bit too small, so I went on to a next market. I said, what else can I teach? What else can I sell? And I said a lot bigger market is how to write a book. So I wrote a product on how to write a book. Now that I wrote that first book, I took the results of how I did it and all the notes and structure and system of how I wrote the book and then sold that as a program. And I did the same SEO process, and I ranked for how to write a book. So in the third spot or the second spot for years till I sold the business. So that same predictable ranking strategy worked. But that market, all in all, it was more people that wanted to write their story and their characters, and I wanted to teach about information, about writing a business book or a book on information. So I moved on from that market, sold that website and business, and then I really didn't have anything going on. So I went to a Toastmasters to learn more about public speaking. I knew in the future that's going to be a skill that I would always need, is to be able to public speak and just communicate well as best I can. Hopefully I'm doing an okay job here, communicating thus far. And hopefully it'll get better as well. So I started doing that, and I just gave an intro speech about myself. Hey, I'm Mike, I like internet marketing, I like business, blah, blah, blah. And then afterwards, I actually met with someone, we went out to lunch, and they said, I have a business as well. Can you, rank my keywords and my website, for my business? And I said, I think so, it should work. So I tested it out. I did it for their business as well, and sure enough, it worked. They actually already had all the infrastructure in place. So all I had to do was rank the keywords, made some content, ranked it, their site and a YouTube video, and they were very profitable, making over $100,000 more per month. They sold temporary walls, so their products sold for $5,000 to $10,000. So it scaled very well and worked out very well. And then that business referred me to someone else, and then I got a new client. And then I actually did my own strategy within the SEO world. So I ranked for keywords like Michigan SEO, Florida SEO, Maryland SEO, all those type of keywords, and I ranked those and got clients. So that's how Triple Your Traffic grew. I didn't really say, oh, I want to be an SEO company. It just kind of grew organically and realized I could provide a lot of results and real value and real business growth for clients. Now the next piece, once that evolved, it was all very overwhelming to manage all these clients and all these different places and working on these different websites and doing all these different things. It was very hard to manage. So as I hired more staff, we built out systems, procedures, checklists, organization, training checklists, all this type of systems, all documented. That way it would be a smooth line, easier to manage, and as all said, it made it a lot more affordable, made it lowered the cost, and way we could do it more predictable, more efficient. That way it's the most affordable way. And again, building on that consistent formula that works, which we'll get into in just a moment, kept building that up. And soon enough, I had this big SEO company, totally systematized and everything. So it's the most affordable way. So the value and advice that I can bring to you is I came from, not knowing anything about SEO and on this side, of wanting to hire someone for SEO to becoming an SEO company of being hired for SEO. So I know the perspectives from both sites and I know the journey. I've built this from the ground up. So that way I can share a lot of insights, secrets, and methods and value that you'll want to know about choosing an SEO company. That way you can actually choose an affordable SEO company that actually works. Because that's what we're going to be talking about here in this session today. So let's go ahead and get started and get into the meat and potatoes right now. So first off, what does affordable mean? Well, from a simple perspective, it means what someone can afford. For example, maybe a smaller business can afford $500 a month on SEO and marketing versus a big business like Coca-Cola can spend, $50 million a month or something crazy on SEO. So it just depends on what you or the business can afford. And the word affordable kind of has a built-in preference for having the product or service be best priced, cost effective, right? Okay, so simple enough. Now that we know what that means, what you can afford and best priced, let's go into a more important question, which is how do we know how much the SEO campaign should cost? Because what if one SEO provider says it will be, $300 a month or something, but it really takes $1,000 of resources or something. We want to know that up front. That way we can know it and make sure we're finding a trustworthy SEO company that actually delivers the #1 rankings and has the resources they need. So once we figure that out, roughly knowing how much the SEO campaign should cost on a monthly basis to get, results in a short period of time, 3 to 6 months, and how do we know that? And we'll talk about that. Then we can work on finding a trustworthy SEO provider to get us the #1 rankings we want in Google for our target keywords to grow our business. So let's go ahead and talk about that now. So in order to figure out the costs associated with the SEO campaign to get in the top spots in Google, we really have to have a firm understanding of what Google wants to rank in the top spots. Because once we know what they want, then we can go do those things and give Google exactly what they want so we rank in Google long-term for our target keywords. So there's 3 steps or 3 parts, if you will, and the first one is knowing your keywords. This one's pretty simple. You may already have this, but if not, there's 3 main criteria that you're going to want to know the keywords. The first is it converting? Okay, if the keyword is, for example, for my company, if I was using the keyword how do I do SEO myself, and I ranked for a piece of content for that, well, that's not really going to convert if I'm looking for people that are looking to outsource or to hire someone else for their SEO. So I would want to hire more converting keywords versus the info-seeking keywords. Keywords like, SEO company. They're looking for a company versus free information to do it themselves. So if it's converting, you want to make sure it's converting keyword, because if it's not going to most likely convert into a sale. There's no point in using the resources to rank for it. Also, the search volume. If it's, a keyword like, I want to buy SEO services right now, but there's no one searching that, well, there's no point in ranking for those keywords. So you want to look at the monthly search volume, which if you don't already know, Google actually records that every time someone searches a keyword. They record it and put all that data publicly within AdWords Keyword Planner. And also the third one, which is a big enough ROI. So it's kind of combining these. You have enough search volume and it converts enough and it equals a big enough ROI to justify the SEO campaign. we always look to have a 10x ROI. So if spending, $1,000 in the SEO campaign, we want to be making at least, $10,000, $20,000 per month to justify the cost of the SEO campaign. If it's not that profitable and not that exciting, well then it's not worth it to do it. So you want to make sure you have a big enough ROI. And then of course you can have some subtle ones like how competitive is the keyword. If it's very competitive, it's going to cost a lot more resources. So you may want to find less competitive ones. Clues for competitiveness involve like how much search volume, the top spots, how many links do they have, and how good is their website, and things like that. So you look for competitiveness, and then you group them together like you have a main keyword, and then you have secondary, or what's known as LSI keywords. So you group them together, and you're going to have a piece of content for each of those. We actually create a web page. We make sure that a page on your website is made, plus a YouTube video. And I'll talk about that next, which leads us to the next step, which is on-page optimization. So having relevant content about it and optimized correctly. So once you know the keywords in the keywords group, then you create content. Again, like I said, we do a site and a YouTube video. The reason why is some people like to read and some people like to watch. I know I'd rather watch in most cases and sometimes read. So if you have both available, then you'll convert more users and more of that traffic into sales to grow your business. Also, the reason why we do a YouTube video is because since it's on youtube.com, we piggyback on success. YouTube.com gets millions and millions of links, per day, so we use that and piggyback on their success to rank sometimes faster. And also, we use a site and a YouTube video. That way we get even more traffic because instead of ranking in the top spots, well, instead of 1, now it's 2. So you can rank number 1 and 2, or 2 and 3, and so on. So that way it's more likely a user that's searching something clicks on it, and then more traffic. They convert better because some people like to read, some people like to watch. So you have more traffic, more conversions, and that way you can also do it faster is another benefit. So those are main benefits to use a site and a YouTube video. Either way, you're creating relevant content and you're optimizing it correctly. Like simple things like in what's called the thing you see within Google, the metadata, the title has the keyword in it, it's natural. You also have the keyword and maybe some secondary keyword or phrases within the description on the page. You have a video about it, so you make it relevant. Pretty simple. And then the third step, which is a lot harder to do, is to create links. So that is incoming links because we're giving Google exactly what they want. So Google wants you to know your keywords so you can create content on it and promote it correctly. And then they want to have the optimized content, so that content in place optimized correctly because they want users to search it and it's specifically about their topic, so the user goes, wow, this is exactly what I wanted. And therefore they come back to Google, keep using it, and Google grows and makes money by people clicking their ads. So they want the specific content. Now the thing is, in today's age, there's millions and millions of pieces of content, right? So the question is, how does Google know? They can only put the one in the first, one in the second, third, fourth, and so on. Out of all these content about the specific keyword that all these people make, well, how do they know which one to rank first, second, and third? How do they know which one is best? Well, there's a lot of different criteria, but one of the main criteria is links. Because Google knows that just naturally, if a website's popular, it's going to get a lot of incoming links. People are going to link on it. A good metaphor you can think of is links are like votes for like an election to win something. Okay, the more votes you get, then the higher up in the search engines. But nowadays, that metaphor is kind of diluted or is not as effective because it's about quality votes. Not all votes are created. In the past, you could just make tons of links and stuff and you would rank pretty quickly. But now it's more about the quality of the links and the authority power of the links, which we'll talk about in a second. First, you have to know the 4 types of links that you'll need. The first one is Web 2.0s. These are free website builders such as WordPress, Tumblr, Weebly, things like that you can build it up. And these give, site diversity, pretty simple, not that powerful in ranking, but they all together in the strategy is what they work. And also the next is citations. These are local business listings, kind of like either Yelp or Foursquare or yellowpages.com or yp.com and Google Plus or Google Local Listings or Google My Business. And there's over 250 citations of all these citations because Google always wants to rank the most trustworthy sites. So just naturally, a big business that's trustworthy, people are talking about, it grew, it has citations over the web. So you're going to need citations as well. Make sure those are all organized and done correctly as well. And the third type of link is social signals. Okay, it just makes sense. If a website is popular, then it's going to be shared on Facebook, Twitter, and Google Places, all these social websites, and they'll share it, and that's the third type of link. So you'll need those as well. The fourth is what we can call authority links. Authority links are the most powerful, and it's going to give the most boost to get to your content number one. And of course, it's also the hardest to get. So what are authority links? Basically, what authority links are, or it's a web page or a website, whether it's the home page or a site, that already has links coming to it. So it already has popular sites linking to it, and then that website links out to your website. Now, you have to be very, very careful when talking to SEO providers and people that do SEO about getting authority links, because what I've noticed, some people will say they get authority links, but they're actually fake authority links. They're not actually real. And they may be intentionally trying to trick someone, or maybe not. They may think they're real, but they're not real authority sites, not real authority links, and therefore they don't actually work. So what I'm talking about is, let's give an example like WordPress.com. Okay, very popular website. If we go to Majestic, SEO.com or Majestic.com, a free tool that kind of grades how popular these websites are and just these metrics of trust flow and citation flow. You know, it's getting tons of links, high trust flow, high citation flow. So it's a very authoritative site, WordPress.com. And anyone can go to WordPress.com and build a free website. So I can put Mike's Amazing Blog, you know, .wordpress.com, make it and create a link right to my website or anywhere I want right away. And I can say I have an authority link because, you know, I built it on this authority website. The thing is, that's not actually going to pass the link juice or pass the linking power to increase the content in the search engines. Because WordPress.com, while it has tons of links to the homepage, there is no connection between the homepage and that page that was just created to link out to either your target content or whatever the target content that wants to be ranked. It's what's known as SEO as an orphan page. There's no power, so it's not going to work. What you need is a true authority page, or actually a true authority site, or that page that actually has incoming links that's then linking out to your content. Now, how do you get authority links? Well, there's two main ways. The first is, which is a little more difficult, is going out and getting guest posts. So what you're doing is, you know, you're finding these relevant sites that may link, and you're emailing them, trying to contact them and say, hey, I have this great content on my website. It's going to be the best for your users. You know, blah, blah, blah. You know, can I write an article? Can we put an article? Can you make a link? Et cetera, and get a link out from these guest posts. Now, the thing is that that's what everyone's doing. Everyone's finding the most authoritative websites that allow other people to post on it and trying to get their posts. So it's like, does your email even get to their inbox, or does it go right to the spam? Do they even read it? Okay, if they actually read it, then, you know, do they actually say, okay, yes, and actually do it, and then keep the link, and then that page that they create, does that actually get links and pass the link juice and have a connection of some sort to actually pass the link power to rank your content? So the success isn't in our control doing it that way. We have to do thousands and thousands of outreach emails, this whole entire system, and what I found from my experience, that never worked. I was putting my success in someone else's hands, if they want to say yes or not, and them keeping it, and it was a big deal, and it never really worked for me. Now I found another way, which I alluded to in the beginning, that I want to reveal to you now, which is creating your own portfolio of powerful domains that you own or someone else owns that builds for you and can link out to your target content to pass the link juice to actually rank your content, and you can have these within moments. So here's how it works. What happens is that thousands of websites every single day stop working or go out of business. They stop paying their bills for whatever reason. They switch from a .com to a .org and don't redirect, don't pay their bill, or they go out of business, or they just, you know, scrap the website for whatever reason. They don't pay their bills, and after 30 days of not paying their bills, then it's free for anyone to register that website. So the thing is, a website can be active for years, 10 years, 20 years, so on, and get all these links from the community, from authority sites, and then the website goes out of business, and after 30 days of not paying their bill, anyone can actually register it. So there's a bidding process and a way to find these. You find these domains, and then you either build it up to the content that was on it before and change all the information and stuff, or you build up a brand new website, but then you have this website, and it's not like building a new website, because you're not just a brand new domain, it's a website that already has links coming to it, and you built it up, so it's a real authority site. So you build your own portfolio of authority sites that you can have full control over, and you link to your content right away, and you do that, and of course, in a supernatural way. So this way you have full control, and you can link to your content whenever you want. And again, it has to be done in a supernatural way. The anchor text has to be done in a supernatural way using different anchor types, such as generic, the brand, the company, the naked URL, just the website URL, and things like click here, more, and a little bit, maybe 5% of the actual keyword. What most SEOs get wrong is they use the keywords. Say if the keyword was SEO company, they would do SEO company, SEO company, SEO company, and try to link all their content to it using an exact match anchor tag or some variation. We want to do the opposite, because that's what happens in the real world. Google's always in the lookout for over-optimization and will penalize and suppress someone's rankings if they see that. So we want to keep everything always supernatural. Generics, saying the business name, linking out in that way, and the anchor text or the hyperlink, using that way, and very, very lot of variation to make things supernatural. So you're giving Google exactly what they want. You know your keywords, you have high quality, relevant, optimized correctly content, and you have links to promotion in place, making it the best popular content, and that is exactly what Google wants to have first page rankings. So then it will rank your content in the first spots for more traffic, leads, and sales, and we've used this system over and over, and that's the key, is having a refined system. That way it's the most affordable and predictable. That way you can know your exact cost and you can actually get to #1 in Google. So now the thing is knowing your cost, planning your budget, planning your SEO campaign month by month, and then executing on it. So I gave you all the framework of what you need to know. Now let's actually plan your budget. So I made a simple Google spreadsheet so you can get a copy of it live. There's a download link right below on our TYT blog. You can download that 100% free, no obligation, doesn't matter, no name and email needed. You can click it, opens up in a new tab, you can make a copy, and you can use that right away. And that way you can plan your SEO campaign effectively so it's affordable and you get your rankings. So right below there's a link to that, and all you have to do is fill that out. You start with your keyword research, and then you go on to phase 2, you get your content in place, and then any leftover budget would be for links. And then the next month, month 2 and ongoing, you actually don't need to do the keyword research. You can maybe refine it and tweak it and stuff like that, but you already have that in place. And same with the content. You already made the content. You don't need to be making content every single month. You're creating a long-term funnel in place with this content which goes to your leads, whether it be buying on your site or filling out a form for a lead. You have this content. So you create the content and you aim to get that done the first month and spend the resources on that. If you have enough to finish it, all the content, the site and the YouTube videos, the first page, and I put roughly how much they should cost. So make sure you check out that template to know roughly how much you should be paying for that, or how much we charge for each of those things. So you'll see those costs and then you apply it. And then you spend all your next month's money. Once you do the keyword research and the content, you spend the budget on the links and the promotion. So you spend about 80% on the high authority links, because those are what's going to give the greatest, bang for your buck, so to speak. But you also want to do the other links to create a natural link profile, site diversity, and they all work together to increase the top ranking. So the social signals, the citations, and Web 2.0s, you'll have those out as well. And on another tab, I'll also create an example so you can see an example of that. Now, if you want us, TYT, to do the keyword research for you, absolutely free, and find all the high converting keywords, all enough search volume, make sure it's a big enough ROI for you, and make sure it's the right amount of competitiveness so we can actually rank for these, and have them grouped, organized in a spreadsheet, all organized so you can execute and know the data. We can do all that for free. All you have to do is fill out the application form right below on our website, and there'll be a link below for that for our video, and we'll do that right away. It's our free SEO action plan, and we'll actually describe this plan in more detail and give you some more secrets and insights and methods that we just couldn't go over here. So if you're interested in that, getting your keyword research done or redone to have a second look at it, and to know the plan, exactly how much content you need, exactly how much links you need, etc., and what it would take to rank, so you know the exact cost, That way someone can't, pull the wool over your eyes or whatever the metaphor is and trick you and not have the SEO campaign work. So you can know the cost, make sure it works, and know more details on the plan and have that keyword research in place. So no matter what you do, if you choose us to do your SEO, you choose someone else, you do it yourself, a combination of everything, whatever you do, so you have that as a starting foundation to really grow your business and put that profitable lead source in place using SEO. As always, if you have any questions, just let me know, let us know right below, leaving a comment on the YouTube video or on our website or our contact form or with the application. You can fill out a message as well. Anything you need, we're here to help. We really do want to help. We enjoy creating this content for you to actually help you grow your business, to know more about SEO. And if we can help do it all for you, we'd love to. If not, it's okay. We're doing okay, and I hope you're doing okay. And either way, we do want to help. So if you are interested in that, go ahead, fill out that application by clicking the link below and filling out your name, your email, your ROI, your website, so we can analyze it, and any keywords you want for the starter keywords before we do the keyword research. So that's the next steps. Take action, fill out that budget, go to that form. Again, if you want us to do it, the application. So now you know a lot more about SEO, the fundamentals, and more important questions of how much it costs to rank and frameworks to know what it takes to rank and how much cost it takes to rank. So once you know that, you'll be a lot more effective in your SEO campaign, and you can actually reach those #1 rankings to get you more traffic, leads, and sales. This is Mike Piet from TYT. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope to talk to you again very soon. Take care. Bye.